Why did you buy an Icom IC9700? Why do you have one? Why did you have to have one? What do you do with it? Why is it sitting on your desk? Leave comments below. Because of part of my revival that I'm really getting into now, I want to bring back 2 meter and 70 centimeter single sideband, 2 meter CW, okay, terrestrial weak signal. Now, I can tell you for a fact, okay, there are probably 600-700 of these units in the Southeast, right here, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama. I guarantee there's 600, 700, 800 of these things that are sitting there. And when I'm on the radio all the time, I will see someone come up and, you know, either they got 9700 on their tag on D-Star, or they'll say, well, rig here is a 9700. And, you know, talking here in my shack, I'm like, okay, cool, you have a 9700. Then I always ask them. I've had one before. It's my favorite radio to own and operate ever. I've worked in Southeast United States on that thing, on 2 meter sideband. What's your farthest contact? What do you do with it? Have you used it? Man, I'm using this in terminal mode, or I'm using it with my Open Spot 4. I've never plugged an antenna into it. Like, really? A $2,200 hotspot to get on 30 Charlie? Sounds like a waste. But if you look at Europe, dude, Europe, people are on 2 meter sideband every day. Every day. Entire from country to country, man. I mean, look at the spotter networks. Just look at it. I don't care if it's FTA. I don't care if it's single sideband. I don't care if it's CW. They're there, okay? And in the US, I don't think there's a lot of people that are doing 2 meter and 70 centimeter single sideband. I can tell you why, because that's what everybody is saying, why they're not plugging in antennas. But the next thing might say is, well, you know, I live in an HOA, I have a 7300 and a 9700, and then they say, I got a little wire hidden out back in the trees, but I can't put up no big old fancy antennas for 2 meter sideband. Well, you don't need no big fancy antennas. Dude, I bought this $50 on eBay, and I've worked into South Carolina on this thing. This is a 2 meter, 70 centimeter. Look how small the UHF loop is. Horizontal loop that you could use with, I think it was like 500 watt capability. But you could build your own. I mean, if you can't find this, you could build your own out of a piece of copper pipe or wire and a couple pieces of PVC and make a loop. I mean, it's not that big. You can't hide this in your HOA or on your apartment balcony? I think you can. You want to work FM? You want to work repeaters? You want to, okay, you want some band open? Here, how about this? This would actually work for sideband. I have used this on single sideband. This is the compact antenna, made today. Already still made in production, right here, with the ground plane kit. It's not big. You can hide this in a tree. You can hide this in your backyard somewhere. With an opening on 2 meters or 70 centimeters, yes, you can use this on sideband, even though it's vertically polarized. Dr. Jack does say that this has some sort of circular aspect to it, but I have worked into Georgia with one of these. It was FT8. It was last year's VHF 2 meter contest, and I worked, you know, with that. So when the band's open, the band's open. But there's 2 antennas that was 50. That's like 190 or 119, I think. Okay, so not a lot of money. You've already spent $2,300 on a radio. So obviously you don't need big Yagis. I just proved that theory. A lot of people have a 9700. I could prove that theory. Just go to the D-Star dashboard, man, and watch. The last herd, tons of 9700s. Okay, but maybe they just want to be on D-Star. That's fine. But so with my little revival here, I'm setting up a Whisper, a weak signal propagation reporter on the top of the tower. I'm probably going to use that halo right there, and I'm going to run that at like 5 watts, and that's going to be up. So if anybody gets on Whisper, we could start watching. If you see your signal pop up on my Whisper beacon or my Whisper station, and mine's popping up on yours, that's a band opening, right? But I really want to do this. I want to get, I've said this before, I want to get people on the air, and we could start, everybody get their Yagis out, everybody get their antennas on. Some of the openings we've had this year were from Florida way up into North Carolina, way up into Kentucky. I mean, John just said, I think he lives in Virginia. He just worked on FT8 from Virginia to Texas on 2 meters with a 13 element Cushcraft like I have. Okay, so it is possible, but I want to know why it's not happening. What's your take on this? Leave a comment and tell me, Eric, you're passionate. Oh, this is crap. You're just trying to hunt for views. That's what somebody, can you believe that? Somebody just said that on a forum online the other day, that it came up, somebody showed it to me, that I changed my format because I don't want to work anymore and I'm not getting the views that I think I should get. So therefore I'm going to bail and pretend I care about the hobby to make views. He's on QRZ forum or something. A total loser, right? That's in the next video. Lids versus losers. You don't want to miss that one. But so my FT736 here, I can do 2-meter sideband, 77-meter sideband. I do want the 9700 for EME because I would have the GPS input in the back, so I can get a disciplined oscillator for an exact frequency for moon balance. That will help me out. But with this old 1980s radio, yes, I've worked band openings up into North Florida, even the beginning of Georgia, with that little loop right there. So I got a lot of things coming, and I'm just trying to say, if we got an antenna up in the air and there was 20, 30, 40, 50 people in Florida and Georgia and South Carolina that had antennas, and we're all looking and calling CQ and trying whispering and looking for where the band openings are, you'd be surprised. It's even more fun than working DX on HF. That's why I've kind of gotten bored with HF. Oh, great, Belgium. Okay, France, thanks. Like, oh, you do that for 10, 15, 20 years, you know, weak signal for me is where it's really at. That involves a challenge. That makes you think, that makes you tweak. That gets you things, makes you get things working that aren't supposed to work, or to optimize your signal. That's what I like about hobby, a ham radio hobby, is that. And experimentation, it's a core aspect of our hobby. Experiment with different antennas and see what's happening. But letting a 9700 sit there because you didn't think after 38 years in the hobby that people were allowed to use 2-meter sideband? Another comment I got the other day. Didn't even know it, Eric. No one's ever told me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm trying to show you these things. So, lastly, I'll leave you with this. There are 10 radios I can list off the top of my head right now that have capability for 2 meters and 70 centimeters, all modes, single sideband, CW, AM. Ready? 9700, 847, the Yaesu FT847, Icom 706, Icom 706 Mark II, Icom 706 Mark IIG, there's 5. Yaesu FT857, FT736, Icom 705. I use that. That's the only thing I have not done on that 705 was use it for D-Star. I've used it for moon bounce. I've used it for 2-meter sideband, 70 centimeter sideband, HF portable. Never for D-Star terminal mode. Don't need it. What else? Let's see. What's that? 8, 9? I mean, there's a lot of radios. 9100, 910. There's 2 more radios. And oh, Icom 271, Icom 471, Icom 1271. Right? 1.2 gigahertz. That's another band that Yaesu will do. Your Icom will do. All we need to be is, or hey, if you're in California, start a group and get people in other areas of California to start doing that. The more people that see it happening, holy shit, I got a 9700. I could talk on 1.2 gig also? Yes, you can. Just need somebody to see it in action before they spend $200 on an antenna. That's all it's about. They think nobody's out there. They don't care nobody's out there because the radio still talks across the world on D-Star. They don't need the antenna plugged in. There's a reason that 9700 is light years ahead of any radio that's made. And Icom put a lot of work into that radio for those type of weak signals and experimentation and pushing the limits. And a lot of people, when it came out, they were so ill-informed. They were like, $2,400 to talk on a repeater? That was the first friggin' thing that came out of their mouth when I was at Dayton that year when it was announced and I got to see it on video. It wasn't even in production yet. And the people were crying, whoa, what about my 220 repeater? No, what about 2-meter sideband? That's what's important. Nobody does that. Like, dude, this is reality check here. So I will leave you with that. I want to know your question or your answers in the comments below. And stay tuned, because when I get the Whisper beacon up, the CW beacon, and whatever else, we're going to have some fun in the Southeast United States on 2 meters and 70 centimeters, 7.3.
Ham Radio Concepts is brought to you by HamRadioPrep.com. It's never been easier to learn about ham radio before you take the exam. And Ham Radio Prep makes it fun and guarantees your success. Visit HamRadioPrep.com. Use the code ERIC20 to instantly save 20% off every course you buy. Remember the name, HamRadioPrep.com.